Hey guys, SpacePigguArt here, and today I'm doing the second half of the watercolour painting that I started last week. Yeah, as you can see, I'm just mixing up a skin tone. I'm not fantastic at that, but it's something that I'm trying to get better at. I have purposefully not gone out and just bought myself a flesh tone watercolour, because I know that it exists, but I haven't got it. And that is because I feel like it's a good thing to be able to do. It means I can have more varied skin tones, and I do need to try and have characters with slightly more varied skin tones, because I have a tendency to just do these kind of pale-ish, slightly tan tones, and it would be fun to play around with some paler colours and some darker colours. Yeah, as you can see, I'm moving from that onto these little leafy bits. Yeah, I'm doing that so that I can let the layer on the skin dry a little bit before I go back and start trying to add a bit more depth to make it a little bit more interesting. And as you can see, I'm jumping around a little bit. I'm not just going in a sensible order for those leaves, because I wanted to try and let the skin dry a little bit before I started painting stuff right next to it. Yeah, so I wanted to let that dry, but I also didn't want to paint the other one that I just painted first, because I was worried that I would put my hand in it and smudge it everywhere, and that would be no good. So yeah, as you can see, I am currently adding a whole lot of water to that page, and that is so that I can hopefully mix colours a little better, make them blend a little bit more nicely. Yeah, I'm very sorry if you can hear much background noise. Evening is not a great time to record a voiceover. I would usually record earlier. I've had some issues with editing because obviously I record my voiceover as I'm watching my edited Speedpaint, and then I render the whole thing. But when my editing software isn't working, I can't do that. So that makes it a little bit more challenging. And this audio is probably going to take a little bit of editing too, because, like I said, people making noise in the evening, and I don't want to have to re-record 7 minutes of footage every time someone starts shouting. So yeah, it's been an interesting day for me, and by interesting I mean pretty awful. I feel like everyone has bad days sometimes. They're definitely not helped by some of the things that I generally struggle with when it comes to people and people being dicks, but you know, it's just one of those things. If I sound weird as well, I can't really gauge it while I'm talking. I find it very hard to judge the way that I'm speaking while I'm speaking, so if I do sound a bit off, that would be why. It's been a very long and annoying and upsetting day, but hey, I figured I might as well record and try and get this done on time, because then I have something that I have achieved and something that I can feel good about today, which is always good. If you've ever had a bad day, having something that you've actually achieved that day is really, really nice. For anyone who hadn't considered that, it's a great way to convince yourself to be productive, is just to say, this will make me feel a little better, even if it doesn't come out great. On the bright side, the painting itself I am very happy with. Even if this voiceover is a little bit all over the place, the art is still good, in my opinion. Hopefully you're not all gonna disagree with me on that one. That would not be great for me, but yeah, I'm pretty pleased. The watercolour is pretty simple. I don't try and do anything super complex, but I think I like that. It's kind of a very gentle, galaxy, gradient-y, ombre effect. Looks quite nice. not too cluttered, which is good because with all of the lines, I think doing anything more might have ended up being a bit too much. But hey, that's just my opinion, I guess. I tried to mix the blues and the purples a little bit more on the page and in my palette to try and do something that was a little bit more interesting. I've got quite a lot of blue shades in my palette, so I have a habit of not really mixing them, and even though I've only got one purple, I rarely ever try to mix a purple, and that's actually something that I really need to work on because I feel like it would just make it a little bit more interesting and add a bit more depth, maybe, to have a few more different shades to work with. Yeah, that's just my idea though. I just feel like that might be nice. It's definitely something I need to work on. I did nothing but mix colours when I had my tiny little 8 watercolour set that I had made from Cotman's watercolours, but yeah, I've gotten out of the habit of mixing now that I've got so many colour options, because I've got I think a 24 colour set, which is obviously very, very different. So yeah, but hey ho, it's one of those things. I'm sure I will eventually get used to it and get the balance right. Oh, I guess another thing to mention is instead of using my water brushes, that's what they're called, yep. Instead of using those, I used actual paintbrushes. I feel like it gave me a bit more control. I usually use my water brushes because it's a bit easier and quicker, but it was nice. I enjoy using my actual brushes because it gives kind of a different effect. I feel like you have a lot more control over the amount of water you're using. But anyway, if you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe. All of my social media links are in the description box, so please feel free to check them out. I'm currently doing Inktober, so I'm posting a lot. But yeah, thank you very, very much for watching, and yeah, yeah, goodbye.